All right, guys, welcome back. So, got the Tomcat done. Like I said in my last video, I do need to check the CG on it and fill it up, make sure there's no leaks, and then run the motors. I got the batteries charged last night, so I'll probably do that this weekend. So, today I didn't get much done because Tuesdays are my in-office day. It's kind of nice. The only day of the week I actually have to go in office. The rest of the time it's telework. So I work from home, which is nice. I don't know if I can work a normal job ever again after doing this like this for so long. So anyways, I needed to jump back on the F-22, trying to get this thing done, like I said, because I'm running out of time before Mississippi Jets. So took me a while to get going, but I got the canopy or cockpit kind of done. I mirrored the way I did the last one, but I made a couple little changes just based on how the way I did it last time and how it worked. So what I wanted was a way to turn the power system on and off, but I didn't want to do it from the backside area in the bay. But I'm also, on this one, I'm going to have a magnet pickup. So that way I can, when the canopy's down, I can turn it off. And then that's another reason, is to be able to put the canopy down while I still have power and then just turn it off at that point. That way, during transportation, this doesn't get damaged. Having the canopy up bouncing around, it broke this last time. So, but anyway, so this is kind of what I have set up here. The cockpit, it just comes out with, it's just got two magnets right here on the side, and it sits kind of just in there perfect. They already kind of pre-do that. It also, they had this part glued on the front, so I just popped it off like the last one and then trimmed off the forward portion about 1.5 inches. And right here, it's hard to see for you guys, but that is the control for the power system. So, and what I did is I just took these little rubber Festo tube holders. They're for fuel tube. And I glued one here, one on the other side, took a piece of an aluminum tube, ran across, and then that becomes my pivot point, and then I just glued on 2 more of the little Festos. So now it becomes a pivot point. So after I turn it on or off, this comes back down. I can put the canopy down, and when it comes down, it pushes it down nice and perfect. And then if I need to, I can pop these things off. Give me a second here. I need to put a little bit of grease on this to make it a little bit easier to do, but it's removable like this. There we go. And pop. So this pops off. You can kind of see there the little pieces. They're just like essentially a pivot point. And this is real flimsy and flexible, so I had to use epoxy. And these are rubber. So, and then you see the bar right here. I can pop it out if I need to, just like that. So now it's out of the way. And then if I need to take this out, I just remove these 2 screws here, and the cockpit still comes out. Even if I need to get it out for other reasons, it just comes out, and I don't have to, I can leave this mounted. So if I need to get to something here, it's there, and things like that. So this is just held in by 2 screws, and like I said, this is what plugs into the power system right here. So it's a perfect little setup. Everything's hidden. You don't see anything when the cockpit is down. And the part with it sticking up just a little bit, because it doesn't seem to, unless this is glued down. The last one did the same thing. It kind of sits up a little bit. Once you get out in the sun a little bit, this plastic, well, it's fiberglass, but the heat will make it sit down and conform like it needs to. Plus, when the canopy is closed, it pushes it down like that. So, but that is the setup. So now that that's done, I'm going to just start. I'm going to take this back out, obviously, and then I'm just going to power up the system, start plugging in everything, programming it. I still need to make these leads. That's what I'm going to do next. But I wanted to wait on this because depending on the CG, you know, if I need to move batteries, plus the leads of the battery, depends on how long those are. I can trim off more and everything, trying to keep these as short as possible. So I got a last one. I had the batteries all kind of up in here and like right in this area with no weight. So CG on this was I think they recommend like 260 or two something, but I went with 280, 85-ish. Another gentleman I know runs his at 295. But if you go with the stock CG, it is way nose heavy and it won't really rotate very well. But I know 100% 280-ish is good because that's what I flew. I think I was like 285 last time, and it flew great. 295 seems to fly great. You just can't go any further back than 295. So I kind of erred on the side of error and went like 288. I think I was like between 285 and 290 ultimately when I was all CG'd out. Which when I originally started forward, I had a bunch of nose weight, nearly a pound in the nose, and as I moved back, I think it was like 260 that you started out at by the manual, and by the time I was at 280, 85, and a little bit back that, I was removed all the nose weight, and I was actually able to push the batteries back a little bit, which is nice. This thing's hard to rotate anyways, so the more accurate you make the CG where it's not as nose heavy. It's always going to be a little nose heavy just because of the fuel is forward of the CG. But I typically will do trap fuel plus a little bit when I CG mine. So I fill the UATs, fill the tanks up, drain them, and then whatever trap fuel in there is my CG. I CG it with that because you can't always get the fuel out there. Plus, when you land these things, you're always, you know, a quarter of a tank or more typically. So I will use a little bit of fuel versus adding weight. That's just how I do it. I don't like adding weight. So if I can get by with doing battery placement with a little bit of fuel, I'll do that every time, and it always works out great. There's no real weight change to this because the mains fold up instead of forward or back. The only thing that goes forward is the nose. That's not really enough weight, and it's so short. It's not enough to really cause any huge weight shifting. So, but yeah. So I turned up the camera. I noticed that in YouTube, the quality of the cameras look like crap, which blows my mind because this is 4K. I'm actually on 5.3, which is higher than 4K. So I think what was happening was my YouTube settings was causing it to drop resolution of my videos down to 1080, which is still good compared to what we used to, but it just didn't look as good. So I changed the settings in YouTube, so hopefully this video looks better. Let me know if it does. Give me a thumbs up if it does, or thumbs down if it don't. Well, I don't do thumbs down. That's just bad. But you can if you want. Totally, you can if you want. So, and I'm at almost 9 minutes. The camera's really not that hot. So I think turning off the couple settings that I did really helped on that. So video is a go. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna so I'm gonna go ahead and put the wings on now. And where are my wings? Oh, they're over here. Yeah, and just kind of show you guys what the wings look like here. I found the wing tanks from my old one, but I can't use them. I actually wanted to put them on and fly them on this one, but they didn't put the hard points in the wings like they did my first one. So apparently the factory decided to ditch the wing tanks. I don't know why. It's kind of a cool option because the real ones do actually fly with some with the wing tanks on. always a little hard to get going once they're, there it goes. And you just gotta walk them back. I need to put some powder on them or something. There we go. All right, so I'll leave them disconnected a little bit. I gotta get all the tubes and stuff hooked up. But yeah, there you go. So I'll put everything on it as well to start setting everything up and getting everything moving in the right direction. At least everything hooked up, make sure it's working. I've got to connect the air lines for the gear door to these, and just see how everything works when I start powering it up, putting some air in the air system, and doing the radio setup. So I'm gonna call it on this video and start working on getting everything together, and then my next video I'll pick it up, kind of looking at the programming on the radio and things like that, and just kind of show you what I'm going to do and talk about some of the different things to do to make this thing fly as good as you can, putting a little toe in on the rudder, things like that. So you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you in a bit. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up. Cheers.